Hello everyone, this is your friend Naruto Fix, and we are back with another epic What If Naruto fanfic. Which is, what if Naruto chose another girl after breaking up with Hinata, Part 1. If you love Naruto fanfics, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and join the journey with me. So, let's start the fanfic. The sun was setting over Konoha, painting the sky in shades of orange and crimson. From the Hokage's office, Naruto Uzumaki stepped out, shoulders heavy from paperwork, but a small smile still on his face. Life as the seventh Hokage had been everything he dreamed of, yet everything he hadn't expected. Endless duties, countless meetings, reports, and constant vigilance, it was exhausting. But one thing always brought warmth to his heart, Hinata Hyuga. To the world, they were the perfect couple, Naruto, the once lonely outcast who had become the hero of Konoha, and Hinata, the quiet girl whose love never wavered. Together they were the embodiment of hope, a love story the village admired. Yet behind closed doors, things weren't as flawless as people believed. That evening, when Naruto pushed open the door of his home, he immediately noticed the unease in Hinata's eyes. She greeted him softly, "Welcome back, Naruto-kun," her voice gentle as always, but there was a tremor in it, and the shimmer of unshed tears betrayed her smile. Naruto frowned, his instincts sharper than ever. "Hinata, is something wrong?" She shook her head quickly, setting the table as if to distract herself. "Everything is fine, just some things weighing on my heart." Quote. Naruto pulled out a chair and sat opposite her, his blue eyes locked on hers. "Hinata, you can tell me anything. You know that, right?" She bit her lip, hesitating. Her pale eyes dropped to the floor. "Since you became Hokage, you've changed. You're always busy, always tired. I rarely see you anymore. I feel like I've been left behind in your world." Her words stabbed at his chest. Naruto quickly reached for her hands. "Hinata, I'm sorry. I know I get caught up with duties, but you're everything to me. I may be Hokage, but you'll always come first in my heart. Believe me." Hinata smiled faintly, but the sadness didn't leave her. Deep down, she loved him more than anything, but she also felt like her love had become a burden. She longed for him, but he belonged to everyone now, to the whole village. Crescent moon, the seeds of a breakup. Over the next few weeks, the tension between them only grew. Naruto tried harder than ever, leaving notes, surprising her with flowers, even skipping meals to spend a few minutes together. Yet Hinata could feel the distance growing. Whenever the village called, Naruto had to leave. Duty always pulled him away. One evening, Hinata sat quietly in the Hyuga garden, moonlight spilling over her as she lost herself in thought. Her father, Hiashi, approached. His voice was calm, but stern. "Hinata, I see the pain in your eyes. Naruto is Hokage now. His life belongs to Konoha. Perhaps you must accept that you no longer hold the same place in his world." The words pierced her, though she didn't want to believe them. 2 days later, Naruto returned from a mission, exhausted but smiling, carrying a small gift, an elegant necklace bearing the Hyuga crest. He had thought it would cheer her up, remind her of their bond. But when he offered it, Hinata's hands trembled. Tears filled her eyes. "Naruto-kun, we need to talk." Naruto's smile faltered. "Talk? About what?" Hinata's voice cracked as she spoke. "I can't keep living like this. I love you more than anything, but lately, all I feel is loneliness. You're never here, and when you are, your mind is still on the village. I wait for you day after day, but my heart is breaking. I think, maybe we should part ways." Quote. The necklace slipped from Naruto's fingers, hitting the floor with a dull clink. His breath caught in his throat. "What? You want to break up?" Hinata's tears fell freely now. "I don't want this, Naruto-kun. But I can't ignore the pain anymore. You're the most important person in my life, but maybe I'm no longer part of yours." Naruto's vision blurred with tears, but he clenched his fists, refusing to let them fall. "Hinata, you're my world. Without you, I'm nothing. But, if you truly feel this way, if staying with me only hurts you, I can't force you to stay." That night, beneath the silent moonlight, Naruto and Hinata's love story shattered. Milky Way a lonely Hokage. The days that followed were harder than any battle Naruto had ever fought. He smiled in front of the villagers, laughed with the children, signed documents as Hokage, but the moment he returned to his empty home, the loneliness consumed him. The silence of the house was unbearable. Konohamaru, now his right-hand aide, noticed the fatigue in his eyes. "Boss, you can't keep pretending. You're dying inside. Being Hokage doesn't mean you have to suffer alone." Quote, even Shikamaru, ever lazy but sharp, sighed as he saw the bags under Naruto's eyes. "What a drag, you're useless like this. You need someone who can be by your side, Naruto. You can't carry everything on your shoulders." Quote, Naruto brushed them off with forced smiles, but deep down, he knew they were right. His heart was bleeding, and Hinata's absence had left a void nothing seemed able to fill. Cherry Blossom a new beginning. One afternoon, as Naruto sat buried under piles of paperwork, the door opened, and Ino Yamanaka walked in with her usual confident stride. "Honestly, Naruto, you look like you haven't slept in days," she remarked, placing a bouquet of flowers on his desk. Naruto chuckled weakly. "I'm fine, Ino. Just busy, you know how it is." But Ino crossed her arms, giving him a sharp look. "You think you can fool me? I can read people better than anyone. And right now, you're miserable." Quote, Naruto blinked at her, surprised at her bluntness. "It's nothing you need to worry about." "Don't say that," Ino interrupted. Her tone softened as she stepped closer. "Everyone knows about you and Hinata. We all saw how happy you two were. And now, you're just a shadow of yourself. You don't have to hide it." Naruto's chest tightened. For the first time since the breakup, someone had spoken the truth aloud. His mask cracked. He lowered his head, whispering, "She was everything to me, and I lost her." Ino placed a hand gently on his shoulder. "Then maybe it's time you find yourself again. You don't have to go through this alone, Naruto." Quote, Naruto didn't know why, but Ino's words struck him deeply. Maybe it was the way she didn't pity him, the way she spoke with firm honesty instead of soft sympathy. Most people tiptoed around him, after all, he was the Hokage. But Ino had always been straightforward, and in that moment, her presence felt like sunlight piercing through heavy clouds. The days went on, and to Naruto's surprise, Ino kept showing up. Sometimes she brought flowers for his office, saying it needed life and color. Sometimes she simply sat across from him while he worked, chattering about the village, her shop, or the latest gossip. At first, Naruto thought it was just her way of distracting him, but slowly he realized something. He was smiling again. One evening, after finishing his paperwork early, Ino suggested, "Come with me. You need fresh air, not more time trapped in this dusty office." Naruto raised an eyebrow. "Where are we going?" Ino smirked. "You'll see. Herb the garden." She led him to the Yamanaka flower shop, but instead of entering the storefront, she guided him to the backyard garden. The place was breathtaking, rows of blossoms in every color, glowing under the moonlight. Naruto blinked in awe. "Wow, I didn't know this place looked so beautiful at night." Ino's smile softened. "It was my mother's favorite spot. She used to say flowers bloom brightest when they're cared for with love." "I still believe that." Naruto crouched, gently brushing his fingers across a lavender petal. "They remind me of you. Strong, bright, and always blooming." For a moment, silence stretched between them. Ino looked at him, her cheeks warming, though she quickly covered it with a teasing grin. "Careful, Hokage-sama. Say things like that and people might think you're flirting." Naruto chuckled awkwardly, scratching the back of his head. "Guess it just slipped out." But deep inside, a strange warmth stirred. For the first time since Hinata, he felt the ache in his chest lessen, if only a little. Heartbreak Hinata's glimpse. Unbeknownst to Naruto, Hinata had seen him that night. Passing by the shop, she caught sight of Naruto laughing with Ino under the moonlit blossoms. Her heart clenched painfully. She had chosen to walk away, believing it was the best for both of them, but seeing Naruto smile with another woman so soon, it cut deeper than she had expected. She pressed a hand to her chest, whispering to herself, "I shouldn't feel this way. I made my choice. Naruto-kun deserves to be happy. But tears still slipped down her cheeks as she walked away. Crossed swords a mission together. Weeks later, a threat emerged on the borders of Fire Country. Rogue shinobi had been spotted, and the Hokage himself chose to lead a small team, Naruto, Shikamaru, and Ino. On the battlefield, Naruto's power was as fearsome as ever, but what surprised him was Ino's brilliance. She wasn't just the flower shop girl, her mind transfer jutsu was precise, her strategies sharp. When Naruto nearly took a blade to the side, Ino's quick thinking saved him, her jutsu forcing the attacker to drop his weapon at the last second. After the fight, Naruto approached her with gratitude. "You were incredible out there, Ino. You saved my life." Ino smirked, flicking her hair back. "Well, someone has to keep the great Hokage alive, right?" Quote. But then her expression softened. "You always throw yourself into danger without thinking. Hinata used to worry about you all the time. Don't make me start worrying too." Naruto's chest tightened at the mention of Hinata, but instead of the crushing pain he usually felt, there was something different now, comfort. Ino's words didn't reopen the wound. Instead, they reminded him that maybe he wasn't as alone as he thought. Milky Way confessions in the night. That night, as the team camped under the stars, Naruto couldn't sleep. He stared at the fire, memories of Hinata and their breakup swirling in his mind. He didn't notice Ino sit beside him until she spoke softly. "Still thinking about her?" Naruto turned, surprised. "Am I that easy to read?" Quote. Ino smiled faintly. "To me, yes. You wear your heart on your sleeve, Naruto. You always have." He sighed, rubbing the back of his neck. "I loved her, Ino. I still do, in some ways. But she's gone, and I don't know how to move forward." Quote. Ino looked at him for a long moment before whispering, "Then let me help you." Naruto blinked. "Help me?" Her eyes were steady, her voice unwavering. "You don't have to fall in love with me, Naruto. But let me stand by you. Let me be the person who listens when the world feels too heavy. You've carried everyone else's burdens for so long, let someone carry yours for once." Naruto stared at her, speechless. His chest ached, but for the first time, it wasn't from loneliness. It was from the possibility, tiny but real, that maybe he didn't have to be alone anymore. Shooting star the first step. The next day, when the mission ended and they returned to Konoha, Naruto found himself at the flower shop again. Ino was arranging roses when he walked in. She looked up, surprised. "Naruto, did you forget something?" He scratched the back of his head sheepishly. "Not really. I just wanted to see you." Ino blinked, then slowly smiled. "Well, that's a first. The Hokage coming to visit just to see me." Naruto laughed awkwardly, but his heart felt lighter. For the first time since Hinata, he wasn't just pretending to smile, he truly meant it. And as Ino handed him a sunflower, the symbol of loyalty and resilience, Naruto realized something. Maybe his story with Hinata had ended. But maybe, just maybe, a new story was about to begin. Naruto found himself returning to the Yamanaka flower shop more often than he ever expected. At first, he told himself it was just because Ino had been kind to him during his lowest moments. But soon, even he couldn't deny that he sought her company. The bright colors of the flowers, her playful banter, and the calm atmosphere of the garden, all of it gave him peace. Her visit turns into something more. One afternoon, Naruto entered the shop to find Ino carefully arranging a bouquet of lilies. The soft fragrance filled the air, and she looked radiant under the sunlight pouring through the windows. "Ino," he greeted with a small smile. She glanced up, raising a brow. "You again. At this rate, I should start charging you rent." Naruto chuckled, scratching the back of his head. "What can I say? This place feels good. It reminds me that not everything in my life has to be about missions and paperwork." Her expression softened. She put the flowers aside and leaned against the counter. "You're changing, Naruto. Before, you'd try to hide your feelings behind that big grin of yours. Now, you're more honest. I like that." Naruto blinked, surprised. "You like me being gloomy?" Ino rolled her eyes and flicked his forehead. "Idiot. I like that you're being real. Her words warmed his heart. He realized she wasn't asking him to be the perfect Hokage, or even the cheerful Naruto everyone expected. She accepted him as he was, even when he was broken. Heartbreak shadows of the past. That night, though, the past came back to haunt him. As Naruto walked through Konoha's quiet streets, he saw a familiar figure in the distance. Hinata. She was holding Boruto's hand as they left the Hyuga compound. Though they had separated, she was still the mother of his children, still bound to him in some way. When Boruto spotted him, his face lit up. "Dad!" the boy shouted, running toward him. Naruto knelt, hugging his son tightly. "Hey, champ, how was your day?" Boruto grinned. "Grandpa Hiyashi made me train extra hard today. He says I need to build discipline." Naruto laughed. "That sounds like him." As Boruto chatted, Naruto looked up to see Hinata watching silently. Their eyes met, and for a brief moment, the world stilled. Hinata's pale eyes were unreadable, but Naruto thought he saw a flicker of sadness there. He wanted to say something, anything, but the words caught in his throat. Finally, Hinata gave a faint smile. "Take care, Naruto-kun." Then she turned and walked away, leaving him with Boruto. That night, after putting his son to bed, Naruto sat alone in his office. His heart ached. No matter how much he tried to move on, a part of him still longed for what he had lost. But then he remembered Ino's words, "Let me stand by you." And for the first time, he wondered if maybe moving forward meant letting go of the past. Milky Way Fireworks Festival. A week later, Konoha held its annual summer festival. The streets were alive with lanterns, food stalls, and laughter. Children ran around with sparklers, couples strolled hand in hand, and music filled the air. Naruto hadn't planned to attend. Festivals reminded him too much of what he used to have with Hinata. But when Ino showed up at his office with 2 festival masks in her hands, he couldn't refuse. "Come on," she insisted. "You need this. And besides, the Hokage has to show his face. People love seeing you outside of work." Naruto sighed but eventually agreed. Together, they walked through the crowded streets. Naruto found himself relaxing as Ino teased him into trying dango and playing festival games. At one point, she dragged him to a shooting stall. "If you win me that stuffed fox, I'll admit you're not completely hopeless." Naruto grinned, his competitive spirit flaring. "You're on." After a few clumsy attempts, he finally managed to win. He proudly handed her the stuffed toy. Ino's eyes softened as she hugged it. "You really are impossible, Naruto." Later that night, as fireworks exploded across the sky, Naruto and Ino stood side by side, their faces lit by the brilliant colors. Without thinking, Naruto whispered, "Thanks, Ino. For everything." She glanced at him, her cheeks faintly flushed. "Don't thank me. Just keep smiling like that. It suits you." And as the fireworks reflected in her eyes, Naruto felt something he hadn't in a long time, hope. Crossed swords trouble brews. But happiness never lasted long in the world of shinobi. Reports came in of renewed activity from remnants of the Akatsuki. Though the organization had been destroyed, a group of rogue shinobi sought to revive its ideals. As Hokage, Naruto couldn't ignore the threat. He assembled a team: himself, Ino, Sai, and Shikamaru. Their mission was to infiltrate a hideout in the Land of Rivers. On the journey, Naruto noticed how naturally Ino worked with the team. Her bond with Sai had deepened over the years, but she still looked to Naruto as their leader. When danger came, she was fearless, using her mind-body switch jutsu to disable enemies long enough for Naruto to strike. After a particularly close call, Naruto pulled her aside. "You're incredible, Ino. I don't know what I'd do without you." She smirked. "Probably get yourself killed. Someone has to keep you alive, remember." Naruto laughed, but the truth behind her words hit him. Hinata had always worried about his recklessness. But Ino didn't just worry, she fought beside him, unafraid of the risks. Shooting star a turning point. After the mission's success, the team returned to Konoha. That night, Ino invited Naruto to the garden again. The air was filled with the scent of roses, and the stars glittered above. Naruto sat quietly, gazing at the flowers. Finally, he spoke. Ino, do you ever feel like you're betraying someone by moving on? Ino tilted her head. You mean Hinata? He nodded. I still care about her. I probably always will. But when I'm with you, I don't feel empty anymore. I don't know what that means, or if it's right. Ino's expression softened. She stepped closer, kneeling beside him. Naruto, caring about Hinata doesn't mean you can't move forward. Love doesn't vanish, it changes. You don't have to forget her to open your heart again. Naruto looked into her eyes, searching for the truth in her words. And in that moment, he realized something. Ino wasn't asking him to erase his past. She was offering him a future. Before he could stop himself, he whispered, Ino, I think I might be falling for you. Her breath caught, but then she smiled, a smile both tender and bold. Took you long enough, Hokage. Naruto had never been good at handling delicate emotions. Fighting powerful enemies, protecting the village, leading troops into battle, those things came naturally. But telling someone how he felt, that was always harder. And now, after admitting that he might be falling for Ino, his heart was racing like he had just faced down a tailed beast. Ino didn't laugh at him. She didn't tease him, either. She simply looked at him, her pale blue eyes shining in the moonlight, and whispered, Naruto, if you're serious, then don't hold back. I don't want half your heart. I want all of it. Naruto swallowed hard. But, what if I hurt you? What if I can't give you everything you deserve? I already failed with Hinata. I don't want to fail again. Quote. Ino leaned closer, her voice steady. You didn't fail, Naruto. Sometimes love isn't enough, but that doesn't mean you can't love again. What matters is that you try. Naruto stared at her, struck by the strength in her words. Ino had always seemed confident, but he realized now that she was also incredibly brave. She wasn't afraid of his scars. She wasn't afraid of his past. She was choosing him as he was. And for the first time in months, Naruto allowed himself to believe that maybe he could choose her too. Herb whispers in the village. As days turned into weeks, Naruto and Ino began spending more time together. It wasn't official, at least, not at first. They went on walks, shared meals, and worked together on missions. But Konoha was a small village, and nothing stayed secret for long. Soon, whispers spread. The Hokage had been seen with Ino Yamanaka, laughing and smiling. Some villagers approved, saying Naruto deserved happiness after his breakup. Others frowned, thinking it was too soon. One evening, as Naruto walked through the market, he overheard two women talking. Did you hear? The Hokage and Lady Hinata aren't together anymore. And now he's seeing Ino. Quote. Really? Ino's beautiful, but isn't she a little bold for him? Naruto's fists tightened, but he forced himself to keep walking. He hated gossip. Still, it reminded him that his choices didn't just affect him, they affected everyone. Later, when he told Ino about it, she smirked. Let them talk. I don't care what people say. Do you? Naruto hesitated, then shook his head. No, not if it means being with you. Ino smiled, leaning closer. Good answer, Hokage. Heartbreak Hinata's silent struggle. Meanwhile, Hinata was quietly suffering. Though she had been the one to end things, seeing Naruto move on tore her apart. Every time she saw him with Ino, laughing the way he used to with her, her chest ached. One night, Hanabi found her sister sitting alone in the Hyuga compound, staring at the stars. Hinata, Hanabi said gently, you're hurting yourself. If you regret letting him go, maybe you should tell him. Quote. Hinata shook her head, tears glistening in her eyes. It wouldn't be fair. I made my choice. Naruto-kun deserves someone who can be by his side without holding him back. Ino, she's strong. Stronger than me. Quote. Hanabi frowned. That's not true. You were strong for him in ways no one else could be. But Hinata only lowered her gaze. Maybe, but that strength wasn't enough. Her words hung heavy in the night air. Crossed swords a test of trust. Fate, however, wasn't done testing them. Rumors spread that the rogue Akatsuki remnants had allied with missing nin from other nations. When a spy was captured, he revealed a chilling truth: they planned to attack Konoha itself. Naruto immediately called a war council. Around the table sat Shikamaru, Sai, Sakura, Kakashi, and Ino. The tension was thick. "We can't take this lightly," Shikamaru said, arms folded. "If they're serious about striking the village, we need to prepare defenses and gather allies." Quote, Kakashi added, "They'll likely target you, Naruto. You're their biggest obstacle." Naruto nodded grimly. "Then let them come. We'll show them Konoha won't fall." Ino leaned forward, her eyes sharp. "And you won't face them alone. Not this time." Her words sent a wave of determination through the room. Naruto felt his heart steady. Having her beside him gave him strength he hadn't realized he needed. Milky Way. The battle. When the attack finally came, it was swift and brutal. Explosions rocked the outskirts of Konoha as rogue shinobi stormed the gates. The village erupted into chaos. Naruto fought fiercely, his Rasengan blazing through the night, but even he couldn't be everywhere at once. At one point, as an enemy shinobi aimed a deadly strike at Naruto's back, Ino's voice rang out. "Not today." Her mind-body switch jutsu hit the attacker just in time, freezing him in place long enough for Naruto to finish him with a decisive blow. "Thanks, Ino," Naruto shouted, breathless. "Don't thank me yet," she shot back, already preparing her next move. They fought side by side, their movements seamless, their trust in each other unshakable. For the first time since his breakup, Naruto felt whole again, not because he was replacing Hinata, but because Ino was carving her own place in his heart. Shooting star aftermath. When the dust settled and the enemy retreated, Konoha stood victorious. The villagers cheered for their Hokage, but Naruto's eyes searched only for Ino. He found her kneeling beside an injured ally, her hands glowing with healing chakra. "Ino," he said softly, approaching her. She looked up, exhaustion in her eyes but also relief. "We did it." Naruto nodded. Without thinking, he reached out and took her hand. "We did." Together. For a moment, they simply stood there, hands clasped, surrounded by the sounds of celebration. And though the battle had been won, Naruto knew the real war had been inside his heart. And tonight, for the first time in a long time, he felt like he had won that too. Cherry Blossom. A new chapter. Weeks later, life in Konoha returned to normal. The flower shop was busy again, and Naruto continued his duties as Hokage. But something had changed. He no longer dreaded going home to an empty house. Because more often than not, Ino was there, sometimes with dinner, sometimes with flowers, sometimes with nothing but her company. One evening, as they sat together watching the sunset, Naruto finally spoke the words he had been holding back. "Ino, I don't know where this road will take us. But if you're willing, I want to walk it with you." Quote, Ino's smile was radiant as she squeezed his hand. "Then stop worrying, Naruto. Because I'm not going anywhere." And as the sky burned with golden light, Naruto realized that while one chapter of his life had ended with heartbreak, another had begun, with hope, courage, and the promise of love. On. The weeks that followed were a whirlwind for Naruto. The rogue shinobi attack had shaken Konoha, but it also highlighted something he hadn't fully realized before: having Ino by his side made him stronger, not just as Hokage, but as a man. Ino had become more than just a companion on missions. She was his confidant, his advisor, and someone who could read him in ways even his closest friends could not. During quiet evenings in the flower shop or under the starlit sky in Konoha's gardens, Naruto found himself opening up in ways he had never imagined. Herb Hinata's struggle. Meanwhile, Hinata's life had shifted in ways she hadn't anticipated. She still loved Naruto, that much she could not deny. But she also knew she had made the choice to end their relationship, believing it was best for both of them. Yet every time she saw him with Ino, laughing, smiling, being cared for, her heart ached. She wandered through the Hyuga compound at night, silent and contemplative, wondering if she had let go too soon. One evening, Hanabi approached her. "Hinata, you've been distant since the festival. Are you thinking about him?" Hinata shook her head, trying to mask the tremor in her voice. No, I'm just focusing on Boruto and keeping the clan strong. Quote, Hanabi frowned. Don't fool yourself, Hinata. You're still hurting. You need to deal with it, or it will eat you alive. Hinata bit her lip, tears threatening to spill. I want him to be happy, Hanabi. Even if that happiness isn't with me. Her younger sister placed a comforting hand on her shoulder. Just remember, Naruto isn't yours to control anymore. He chose to move forward, and you have to choose yourself too. Quote, Milky Way growing closer. Naruto's days with Ino became a rhythm he cherished. On missions, they worked seamlessly as a team. In private, they shared small moments of intimacy, a quiet cup of tea, a walk through Konoha's streets, or a shared laugh over a childhood memory. One late evening, as the two sat in the rooftop garden of the Hokage Tower, Naruto looked out at the glowing village light. You know, I never thought I'd find someone like you, Ino. Someone who understands me, and still wants to be around me. Quote, Ino smiled softly, her hair glinting in the moonlight. You just have to let people in, Naruto. You've been carrying the weight of the world for so long, but it doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Naruto turned to her, eyes serious. I think I'm ready to try. To let someone in, fully. Ino reached out, brushing a strand of hair from his face. Then don't hold back. Not with me. For the first time in months, Naruto felt free. The guilt of his past with Hinata was still there, but it no longer chained him. Ino wasn't a replacement, she was a new beginning. Crossed swords, small missions, big moments. Even as romance bloomed, duty called. Naruto and Ino were assigned to a reconnaissance mission near the Land of Rivers, where rumors suggested a small band of rogue shinobi had taken refuge. During the mission, Naruto noticed Ino taking the lead in strategizing their approach. She was confident, decisive, and courageous, qualities that made Naruto's chest swell with pride. At one point, a group of enemies ambushed them. Naruto's attention was divided between protecting the villages and keeping the team safe. Ino stepped in, her jutsu flawless, blocking attacks and saving Naruto twice from near-fatal strikes. After the mission, as they returned to Konoha, Naruto looked at her, admiration and affection swirling together. You're amazing, Ino. I don't know what I'd do without you. Ino smirked, nudging him playfully. Probably get yourself killed. Don't worry, I'll keep saving your life until you realize how reckless you are. Quote, Naruto laughed, the sound genuine and light. Ino had a way of grounding him, of reminding him to live, to breathe, and to feel without fear. Cherry Blossom Village gossip. The village, however, wasn't quiet about their relationship. Children would whisper in the streets, elders would exchange knowing glances, and even some of Naruto's colleagues couldn't help but comment. Did you see the Hokage with Ino again? One villager whispered to another. They look happy together. Yes, but isn't it too soon after Hinata? Another replied. Naruto tried to ignore the gossip, but he noticed it everywhere he went. For a while, it made him uneasy, but Ino's presence was a constant reminder that he was not alone, and he began to tune out the whispers. One day, while walking through the market, Naruto overheard Boruto talking to Sarada. Dad's always smiling lately, more than before. And he spends a lot of time with Ino. Sarada laughed softly. I think Dad's finally happy. Quote, Naruto paused, listening from a distance, a small, embarrassed smile tugging at his lips. Milky Way confessions and jealousy. As time passed, the bond between Naruto and Ino deepened. One quiet night, Naruto found himself in the Yamanaka garden, watching Ino arrange a new set of flowers. Ino, he began hesitantly, I think I've fallen for you. Completely. Ino's hands paused mid-motion. She looked at him, eyes wide, then slowly smiled. Naruto, I was hoping you'd say that. Before he could respond, a familiar presence approached, Hinata. She had come to visit, her expression neutral, but Naruto could sense the tension. Hello, Naruto-kun, Hinata said softly. Naruto's chest tightened. Hinata, you're here. I just wanted to see Boruto, she replied, her eyes flicking briefly toward Ino. Naruto noticed a subtle flash of something, perhaps jealousy or sadness. Ino, sensing the tension, stepped forward gently. "It's all right, Hinata. You can visit anytime." Hinata nodded, but her pale blue eyes betrayed her. She realized that Naruto had moved on, that her place in his heart had been replaced, not out of malice, but by someone who could meet him in ways she no longer could. Crossed swords another threat. Life in Konoha rarely stayed peaceful for long. Reports emerged that a splinter group of rogue shinobi had allied with ex-Akatsuki members, planning attacks on villages across the Land of Fire. Naruto, now seasoned from battles and strengthened by Ino's unwavering support, immediately organized a strike team. Ino stood beside him, her presence a steadying force. During the confrontation, their teamwork was flawless. Naruto's Rasengan and Ino's mind-body switch jutsu complemented each other, taking down enemies with precision. Every attack, every maneuver, every small victory cemented the bond between them. After the mission, as they returned to the village, Naruto finally felt something he hadn't felt since his early days as Hokage, a sense of hope, not just for the village, but for his own heart. Shooting star moving forward. Weeks later, life began to settle into a new rhythm. Naruto's home was no longer empty. Ino was there regularly, sometimes helping with paperwork, sometimes simply keeping him company. One evening, as the two sat on the rooftop watching the sunset, Naruto turned to Ino. "I don't know what the future holds. But if you're willing, I want you by my side." Ino reached out, squeezing his hand. "Naruto, I've never been more certain of anything in my life. I'm not going anywhere." And as the sun dipped below the horizon, Naruto knew that while one chapter of his life had ended in heartbreak, another had begun, full of hope, love, and a future he could finally embrace. The days following the festival and missions passed quickly, but Naruto felt a sense of completeness he hadn't known in a long time. Every morning, waking up to Ino's cheerful smile felt like sunlight breaking through months of rain. He noticed small things about her now, how she tucked a stray hair behind her ear, how her laughter was a melody that could calm even the most restless of minds, and how her presence alone made him feel grounded. Hinata's lingering heart. Despite Naruto moving forward, Hinata's heart still ached. She tried to bury her feelings under responsibilities, Boruto's training, and her duties within the Hyuga clan, but nothing could entirely erase the memory of their love. One afternoon, she found herself walking through the village and caught sight of Naruto and Ino in the marketplace. Naruto's hand rested gently on Ino's shoulder as they laughed at something she had said. The sight twisted Hinata's chest, a mixture of pain, nostalgia, and something else she didn't want to admit, jealousy. She clenched her fists silently, whispering to herself, "I wanted him to be happy, but not with someone else." Quote, Hanabi noticed her sister's distant stare. "Hinata, you can't keep holding on to the past. Naruto's life is moving forward, and maybe it's time for you to do the same." Hinata nodded, though her eyes betrayed the conflict raging within her. Milky Way. Boruto's observations. Boruto, ever perceptive, noticed the change in his father. "Dad seems happier," he remarked one evening, leaning on Naruto's shoulder as they trained together. Naruto smiled softly. "Yeah, I guess I've found someone who makes things easier." Boruto raised an eyebrow. "Someone?" Naruto chuckled. "Her name is Ino. She's special." Boruto grinned. "Good. Dad deserves to be happy. And you two seem really good together." Quote, Naruto felt a wave of relief. Even Boruto approved. That mattered more than gossip or whispers in the village. Crossed swords testing their bond. But happiness never came without challenges. Reports of rogue ninja activity reached Konoha again, this time involving a cunning group skilled in infiltrati on and espionage. Naruto, now confident and stronger with Ino by his side, led a mission to neutralize the threat. Ino worked seamlessly with him, covering his flank, reading enemy movements, and executing precise strategies. During a tense moment, an enemy ninja tried to flank Naruto. Ino immediately intercepted, her mind-body switch jutsu immobilizing him just long enough for Naruto to finish the fight. Breathing heavily, Naruto looked at her, his heart swelling. "I don't say it enough, but thank you, Ino, for always being there. She gave a small smile, brushing some dirt off his shoulder. I'm not leaving your side, Hokage. Not now, not ever. And in that moment, Naruto knew she wasn't just a companion in battle, she was his partner, his anchor, and posse. Bly, his future. Shooting Star Quiet Confessions. After the mission, the two returned to Konoha under the setting sun. The village was alive with chatter about the recent events, but Naruto and Ino found a quiet moment in the garden of the Yamanaka flower shop. Ino, I think I've been waiting for this moment for a long time, Naruto confessed, sitting beside her on the bench. I don't want to lose you. Not like before. Ino reached for his hand, intertwining her fingers with his. Naruto, you won't. I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. Naruto's heart raced. The weight of his past, the heartbreak with Hinata, the lonely nights, the self-doubt, suddenly felt lighter. You know, Ino continued, a playful glint in her eyes, it's funny. You're supposed to be the strong, brave Hokage, and yet here you are, confessing your feelings like a kid. Naruto laughed, feeling the tension dissolve. And you're supposed to be the florist, yet here you are, keeping me alive on missions like a pro ninja. Quote, they both chuckled, the moment stretching into quiet contentment. Cherry blossom acceptance and moving forward. Weeks turned into months, and their bond deepened. Naruto and Ino were often seen together in Konoha, their relationship becoming an unspoken pillar of strength for the village. Villagers whispered, some in approval, some in surprise, but Naruto didn't care. Even Hinata, though still conflicted, began to accept the change. She watched from a distance, reminding herself that Naruto's happiness mattered, even if it wasn't with her. Boruto noticed the subtle shift in his mother's demeanor. Mom, it's okay, right? Dad's happy with Ino. Hinata smiled faintly, her heart heavy but accepting. Yes, he deserves to be happy. Milky Way the garden at night. One final night, Naruto and Ino returned to the garden after a long day. The moon cast silver light across the petals, and the air was filled with the sweet fragrance of blooming flowers. Ino, Naruto began, turning to her seriously, I know we've faced a lot together, and there's still more to go. But I want you to know, I trust you. I love you. Ino's eyes softened. Naruto, I love you too. And I promise, whatever comes our way, we'll face it together. For the first time in a long while, Naruto felt entirely at peace. The past, the heartbreak, the challenges, the loneliness, was behind him. Ahead lay a future filled with love, laughter, and a partnership stronger than any battle they could face. As they sat together under the starlit sky, holding hands, Naruto realized that life's chapters weren't just about ending. They were about new beginnings. And with Ino by his side, this beginning was brighter than he had ever imagined. The Hokage had survived heartbreak, the village had faced threats, and Naruto had discovered that love could be found again in unexpected places. Hinata remained a cherished part of his past, Boruto grew under his watchful eye, and Ino had become not just a partner but a symbol of hope and trust. Part 1 closes with the promise of a new journey, one where Naruto and Ino would face future challenges together, their bond unshakable, their hearts open to whatever destiny had in store. If you enjoy this fanfic then please like and subscribe my channel Narutofix 11 for more fanfic guys, thank you.